Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with MTI Wireless Edge. Today's host is Ofer Bismuth. He is their Director of Sales and Marketing for North America. Ofer will be presenting today, and if anyone has any questions, please submit them in the question box, and after the presentation, we'll give Ofer a chance to answer all of our questions. Ofer, thank you so much for being with us today. Appreciate your time. If you're ready to go ahead and take it on over.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Here in Israel, it's almost 8 p.m., so I'm still ready for this webinar. So my name is Ofer, okay, with one F, okay, and MTI, it's a very famous company in antenna manufacture. We do this almost for many years. I will expand it. So in general, the agenda is trying to understand that the market is going from demand for more capacity, and for this reason they need a better solution in radio, in antenna, and the more complexity of the network, okay, the more is important the antenna technology, okay, and the quality and everything. So we will show a few examples of this. I will give you a short introduction about MTI and our capabilities, and we do some technical about antenna selection, and we are open to question discussion. If I can answer the question online, it's okay. Otherwise, we will send it after that by email. So what I try to show you that there is a huge demand for today for capacity. More and more video sharing, more and more application like I'm laughing, TikTok and Instagram and a lot of application. One of the things that everyone is sharing, excluding the call, it's voice recording and video and everything. So it's a huge demand for capacity. And one of the things that need to do the mediation device between the mobile or the PC and the network, it's the radio, which might be mobile, it might be Wi-Fi, it might be access, and on top of it, all of them must have antenna. Okay, it's mandatory. Maybe the Wi-Fi access doesn't have a complicated antenna, but in a big area like stadium and large event and parks, you already have a lot of hundreds of antenna which installed everywhere. Okay, so the main idea that there is a demand, you need a radio, and the radio came with antenna. Okay, and the more capacity that you need, the more complexity of the technology that you need. So now everyone is moving to MIMO. Okay, it's the number of output or number of port that you have. We talking in the beginning 2. Now everyone talking about 4 like default, and the future will be 8x8 MIMO, which is what's going to be. We talk about the AX and of course we talk about dual band and everything. So there is more complexity in the network, more complexity that you need a better antenna. So this is the main idea. And when we talk about quality antenna, we will talk why do you need someone. Okay, we will see the difference between a general antenna and a good quality antenna. Okay, and this is the presentation, the main idea. So what is the technology? Okay, everyone moving now from Wave 2 to AX. You will see more and more and more radio manufacturer that present or release the AX. Okay, it's 8x8 technology. It's dual band, 2.4, 5.8. And because there is a lot of demand in the access, there is also change in the backbone, okay, in the backhaul. More 80 gigahertz, more 60 gigahertz. You will see more E-band and V-band technology, company like Ceragon, Cyclus, SIE, and other increasing the sales because there is more demand also in the backbone. Okay, in the backhaul, going from the access to the main server. So we saw more and more smart antenna technology. You will see Radwin, Cambion, everyone is moving to smart technology, beamforming, okay, or beamforming, whatever. LTE fixed, we talk about this. It's kind of fixed LTE. It depends if it's 2.5, 3.65, CBRS. I will give you a little bit about TV white space and CBRS also to give you idea what everyone is talking about. This is the difference, okay? You will see the AC, for example, the capacity, okay? You will see, of course, there is a huge, almost double the QAM, the modulation that need to go over the, the scheme that going over that in order to increase the capacity. You will see almost a huge capacity. By the way, AC Wave 2, it was already, a huge development compared to the regular, and now we are going to increase this. And again, when you're talking about let's say about large QAM, you need a better antenna. Okay, it's very clear that the antenna, this is the nose and the eyes of the network. Okay, if the antenna doesn't know how to work correctly with noise and with other things that we will talk, everything will come to the radio. The antenna is kind of filter of they give to the radio, to the mind, what they want really exactly, the exactly bandwidth, the exactly polarization, the exactly frequency. Okay, so the antenna is very important when you grow with the QAM, with the modulation. Okay, it's very important part of the network. So I just want to give you, by the way, this is already now today, it's called the Cambion because they both the Xerox technology, but you can see that on the same footprint, okay, you're going from 8 to 16, so the radio is going to be more complexity. What about the antenna? You need to understand the antenna is also is their own technology that need to be improved, okay? This is the main idea that on the same footprint, the number of radio is going to increase by 4 or 5 times. So what is the smart antenna? What is the idea, okay, of smart antenna? The main idea that they try to give the radio a mechanism or a formula how to improve the capacity, okay? It means that they need to focus on a specific area that need to now, okay, more demand, okay. So once they will know how to do it, they will increase the capacity, the coverage, because now they can change they can change the bandwidth according to demand, okay. They will increase the bit rate because now they can focus a specific customer that need much better rate, or they can sell him much better, let's say package. You will pay much more, and we will give you much quality service, SLA. Okay, they will improve the link and less interference. This is the result of the smart antenna. Okay, there is some technology. There is a huge, a lot of information on the web, but the main idea that the radio knows how to talk with the antenna. There is some kind of, let's say. Not filter, but there is a switch. Okay, there is a switch that the antenna know how to get a command from the radio, and according to this command, it will change the behavior. Okay, so the antenna consists of element, dividing network, control unit. That one that we talk about. This is the main idea of smart antenna, to make the same things much better and much clever. Okay, and not transmit everywhere. Transmit when you need it. So there is some technology you can read about it. Everyone going to this. By the way, all the LTE is based on the same idea of smart antenna. We talk a bit about a little bit about CBRS. Everyone is talking. Everyone trying now to do commercial. There is a lot of auction. So the main idea that this spectrum was used by the U.S. Navy and still is using it. So we need to handle, it's called a shared okay, bandwidth, we need to share it with other, okay. So this is kind of mechanism. The idea that the CBRS have a very good penetration, a very good coverage, so a very good, by the way, capacity. So everyone fighting to get a piece of this spectrum, okay? Because they're talking about indoor and outdoor. Most of the incumbent, the new incumbent, they want to get this because they want to give a service. So everyone is fighting on the 3.5. Okay, there is a huge action. As I mentioned, it's a shared spectrum assignment. There is a kind of database, okay, the SAS, and every CPE or every sector, or radio, sorry, which is going up, you need to register in this database, and they know the GPS, the location. They can assign him a specific frequency, which is the best, let's say regarding interface or allocation, whatever. And always it's dynamically. When you don't use it, so the channel is free. Okay. So what's happened that everyone tried to push this. There is already many companies that operate this kind of database. One of them is Comscope. I think there is also someone from Google and someone from I think even from Amdocs, the Israeli company which are doing software. So there is few companies that already approve to do the SaaS. Okay, they already got kind of from the CBRS line, they got approval to. So this is the main idea of the CBRS. Okay, everyone is talking about this. It's a shared, it's a very good coverage, blah blah blah. So everyone want to get piece of it. The TV white space, it seemed like it's already for many years. So what is the difference? Okay, what is, by the way, what is TV white space? Okay, so what's happened? There is the TV channel. Okay, between the TV channel, in order to avoid interference between channel, they put empty channel. Okay, every 6 megahertz they put empty 6 megahertz. So what's happened in between this TV channel? Someone smart said, why we cannot transmit data between them? They will not go. This is a different application. We are not going to interference each other. So the main idea that the TV white space is going to use unused space between the TV channel, and it's not big capacity, but it's much better than 900, by the way, megahertz. And one of the things that is pushing this technology, Microsoft, there is a program called Airband program from Microsoft. They give a lot of finance. Okay, they push a lot of company to develop to put more network in TV white space, because the main idea of TV white space that they have a very good coverage. It can go over a large area, okay, it's really non-line of sight. So if you have building and trees and other things, it can go over it. So it's a good technology for area which is agriculture, which is more there is a huge difference between one customer to other customer, and there is no, let's say, business model that you can put big radio in order to serve them. So the main idea that with this technology you can go far away from any other technology, and the capacity, it's okay. It's okay. It's 1 or 0. Either you have a service or you don't have a service. So it's a really a good access, and everything is going to be like, again, spectrum access, sharing, and blah, 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 and everything. But the main idea, there is a technology today. There is a available space today. There is a database. There is a plan that most of the analog TV channel will be died. So it's going to release a lot of area. Bottom line, it's still problematic because there is a lot of noise, but it can be done. There is a customer that's working with this. Okay, there is a technology that's going in. Not talking about Redline, but Radwin is going to jump. There's other company. So in general, this is the TV white space. The main idea of TV white space again is to give capacity. Everyone needs more capacity. Maybe I need more capacity than agriculture, but they still need a lot in order to make their business. So the main idea again, capacity everywhere. Okay, in every places. So what's happened that you need to go with the MIMO antenna. You have a lot of 2x2, 4x4, TV white space, dual polarization, dual slant, which is the difference between dual polarization, dual slant. It's between VNH to plus minus 45, as you can see here. It's the same polarization, just different let's say design. So I will be back to the technologies. Just give me, a little bit about MTI. By the way, it's not 48 years. It's already 50 years. Sorry, we celebrate 50 years this year. MTI. MTI is a kind of world leader for many years. We go with the biggest OEM. We know how to do a good quality antenna, which means that good quality. It's very clear that if you have a high quality antenna, it's a niche market because everyone wants to go cheap, but we still continue to do a good high quality antenna. And the main idea that it gives you much better quality. Okay, so everyone know that MTI is equal to quality, and quality is equal to performance. Okay, we have all the HC and ISO and whatever. And we are number one in OEM. If you check in the market, you will see everywhere MTI are using, from Redline, Radwin, Nokia, Sia, Aruba, Siklu, whatever, you name it, you will find our antenna. Okay, so this is the main idea that OEM are using our antenna because they know that they can get very high quality antenna in reasonable price. Remember, very high quality in reasonable price, and I will explain about this very short. So MTI is a kind of business activity. We have all the defense market that we start. We still have a very big customer in the defense market in Israel, worldwide. It's everywhere. Submarine, Air Force, whatever you need. And we have the commercial market. I belong to the wireless application, but we also have RFID. If someone needs RFID, we have a big portfolio of RFID. Again, all the OEM are working with us, so it's a different business model. It's not for direct data or something like that. So we can give you all the frequency, okay, that you think about this. We can give you any kind of base station, sector, subscriber, Omni, different kind of mounting. It's a huge portfolio of hundreds of thousands of antenna. 100 formally, 1,000 because each OEM has a different version. So it's thousands of customers every year that we and every week we develop at least 3 or 4 different. We give a proposal for 3-4 new antenna everywhere. Yeah, it's unbelievable. All the market, it's like living like everyone needs a new requirement, a new demand, and whatever. New market. Okay, we have also a very nice product. It's called we call it Enclosure. It's you can do whatever you want inside. You can put Microtech, you can do whatever radio, your component inside, and on top of it you put the antenna. Okay, and the antenna close the box. You have a different frequency from the antenna. So if you buy our Enclosure, we have already a full portfolio of antenna for this Enclosure. Some integrator are using these. Some of them, by the way, RFID are using these a lot because they need to do a lot of integration. So the first question that I hear all the time, and we talk now about money and quality, it's how much it costs. Okay, how much it costs the antenna. By the way, if you check every project that you are doing, the antenna it's less than, I don't know, 3 or 4% of the total value of the project. Okay, I'm talking about site acquisition, site installation, the cable, the radio, the tower. It's less than 3%. Okay, so it's not a big piece of the project. Okay, if you save few bucks, it doesn't say anything about the overall cost of the project. So I'm trying to say, in any case, it's a wrong question because if you need to compare antenna, you need to think also about other things. So my question is, how much it costs to you to install this kind of installation? You know that each installation, it can be 100 and even few thousand, okay? So what's happened if you choose the wrong antenna and you need to replace the antenna because the weather, the snow, the dust, the rain, what's happened if you choose the wrong antenna? Not only the performance, also it's outdoor. What's happened? You need to pay thousand of US dollar again for the reinstallation. So this is the main idea that I try to understand and educate the customer. It's worth for you to pay a little bit more for the antenna in order to get much better performance, and you don't feel it because bottom line, it's not a big part of your project. Okay, so we will talk about the antenna parameter. Okay, so there are some basic parameter. Everyone understands the frequency, okay? Although now it's tricky because there's the dual band, triple band, whatever. The gain, it's very clear. You have the gain, and also there is a tricky here. Some of them say the typical gain, some of them say maximum gain. In general, you need to ask what is the minimum gain. When you do a network analysis or network design, okay, you need to know what is the minimum in order to do the coverage. You don't need to maximum. Maximum, it can be in some part of the frequency. All the other one will be much lower. So gain must be minimum, not maximum, not typical. Okay, in general, MTI, even it might be higher, we say the minimum. Okay. Beamwidth, everyone understand in beamwidth in sector 60 degree, 90 degree, it's minus 3 dB, and then you see what is the antenna coverage. Okay, mostly it's very important in sector, but it's also important in point to point because the beamwidth in point to point must be very narrow. The main idea that the higher the gain, okay, in general, the higher the gain, the narrower is the beamwidth. Okay, in general, because in order to get much higher gain, you need to narrow the beamwidth. It's how do you call the area that there is a transmit of the antenna. So in general, this is and also there is a general design that the bigger is the antenna, the smaller is the beamwidth. Again, but in general, okay. A side lobe, we talk about side lobe. Side lobe, it's very critical. If you have a wrong side lobe, a very big side lobe, it's going to be a lot of interference and reduce your transmission. Front to back ratio, it's critical when you do frequency reuse or back to back operation. It's even you don't do, but there's other on the tower that do the same frequency and they transmit on your back. We will talk about this. Cross polarization mandatory. We talk about 8x8 antenna today. You try to understand that each antenna has, it might be that two antenna on the same coverage is going to have the same polarization. So what's happened? Both of them transmit V. How they to do a good polarization between them, separation, and what's happened between V and H, what happened between V and dual slant. So all the cross polarization is also critical, and everything, by the way, must be written in the data sheet. Okay, it's not something that you need to think. By the way, you can ask from MTI each time that you want to buy antenna, what is the test result that we have done in the lab? I will send you free of charge all the test results in Excel, in graphs, in picture, whatever. And top of it, you have the environment. It's a fully outdoor. Snow, rain, dust, whatever, UV protection. It's really fully outdoor. MTI give you a warranty of 3 years for each antenna. Try to understand, 3 years outdoor. I assume that you have a product today, even in your home, a product that is outdoor. What's happened after 2 years? All the plastic is cracking, it changing the color. So MTI give you 3 years warranty. Try to understand snow, water, whatever. It's a tough condition. So we will talk about two parameters. Again, just to give you idea, what is the effect? A side lobe. Okay, side lobe by default. Okay, when you design antenna, by default you have the main lobe and you have the side lobe. Okay, it's by default. You cannot ignore the side lobe, okay? But you can design much better the antenna in order to have a lower side lobe, okay? So the lower side lobe is the better performance. So it can be anything. Try to understand that you have, when you coverage a cell, you have one antenna and very close to him another antenna that cover another area, okay? And if there is not a good side lobe between them, it's going to be a lot of problem with the coverage interference between two antenna. Try to imagine that there is another vendor which transmit higher gain than you and using the same frequency or very close frequency. So what's happened that the side lobe is a critical parameter. You need to choose antenna that have a minimum side lobe. Okay, if one antenna have, I don't know, 17, the other one have 25, you will need to choose the 17. Okay, in general. Okay, you need to choose the lower side lobe. Okay, and by the way, this is done by design the antenna from day one. And this is material. This is better, component inside. This is the reason that I said quality antenna. Okay, and another factor that you need to be aware, there is always, as I mentioned, the main lobe, and always by default you have the back lobe. Okay, the back lobe is critical. If you do reuse of frequency and you put antenna for one direction, the other antenna to another direction, so it might be if the back lobe, it's big or you don't have a good separation. What's happened that noise is getting from the back, okay, and this is going to influence the main lobe, okay. So what's happened that you need to choose the most higher front to back ratio. The higher front to back ratio, it's less interference. Okay, but this is two examples of antenna. Of course, we're talking about the frequency, the cross polarization, but this is example how it's important to choose the right antenna. And specific, I'm talking now about sector, but sectors serve all the CPE. If the sector doesn't transmit or doesn't work properly, it doesn't matter about the CPE. You try to understand that. Also, the CPE has different issues that we can speak about this, but I tried just to give you a demonstration how it's critical to choose the right antenna. So what's happened if you choose a bad selection antenna? You can see two different results. You can improve the ROI because you need less base station. You can improve the coverage. Whatever, not mention the time consuming that you need to handle the problem, customer charm that, they need to get a service. They don't get a service in time, they have a problem, and blah, 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 blah. So bottom line, it's not only money, it's not only, a better coverage, it's also a customer that need to get a service. And your time in order to solve the problem, okay? So this is example of a real network, okay? By the way, it's a Cambion that using their default antenna. One customer that made this kind of network, you can see the difference, how much capacity they get much higher. You can see the higher is the green, okay? Let's say the stronger is the green, the better is the capacity. You will see much better coverage, much better, you see the difference. It's the same 60-degree antenna dual pole. I say the same. One is from another vendor and one is from MTI. This is from MTI. Okay? They improve the network, the side lobe, the front to back ratio. They do a frequency reuse of 1 to 2, 1 to 3, I don't remember. But again, everything was improved, okay? They can do a much higher capacity from the same frequency band on the same tower. It's beautiful. So this is our guarantee of quality, okay? So how much it costs, we understand that it's a wrong question. You don't need to ask. What is the performance? How can I get a better quality? What is my ROI? What is the benefit that I get? For example, 3 years warranty. Okay, for example, it's a lot of money. If you came after 2 years and if water get inside, you get a new antenna. So we have a bunch of company that we used to work with them from Riverbed. Now it's Cambion. They bought Dexiros, Uberzuner, Proxim now, still working in some area, Cambion, Radwin, Nokia, Aruba, Siemens, whatever. You name it, the company, and we are here. Mimosa, which now Airspan. And again, we work with so many OEM because they understand over the year that they can get a good quality and reasonable price. Okay, we are very competitive in price. We improve the price, improve the cost of the price because our manufacture today it's in India. Okay, we do all the design testing in Israel. The manufacture actually done in India, and you know what I mean. It's instead of China, we are doing this in India, so there is no coronavirus now in in India, not yet. Okay, so we're still full production from this. So again, one of the quality that everyone gets. So this is the MTI, the story of MTI. A very mature company, very large portfolio. You can find us in every OEM leader. Can give you a quality which give you a much better performance. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ofer, for that presentation. We enjoyed it very much. I have a few questions here for you if you're ready to go.
Okay.
First question here for you. You mentioned your products are manufactured in India. Is all of your products manufactured there?
Mm, okay. Our main target, yeah, is to make fully 100% in India. Okay, from many reasons. One of them is cost. There is also a political issue that it's made in India, not made in Israel. Our main idea is to make almost 100%, but we cannot do it because there is a smart antenna like E-band, V-band, and a lot of product that we cannot use local vendor or we cannot use them the integration internally, but we improve the capability. Okay, today we have already a small lab in the India. We have RF engineer. Okay, it's a second degree RF engineer. So we improve the capability in order to give a better service in India, but still most of the design and the main lab chamber room it's still in Israel. All the RF engineer, the designer, the mechanical are in Israel. But again, our focus here is to give you a better product with a lower cost. This is the main target, to do it in India.
Thank you for that, Ofer. Next question here for you. If anyone needs to reach out for technical support, what would be the best thing to do first?
If they need a technical support, okay, I'm going to be the focal point. Okay, it's going if they can go first of all via the website, send in any request, any question, everything. The webmaster know to switch the right question to the right person. Okay, and then you have a direct connection. We are not. We are. By the way, we are a public company, very small company. So mostly if it's in the US, you will get to me to get the support. Of course, I will give you all the support from the lab, all the support from the RF engineer. But bottom line, you will get the answer either directly via the distributor, via me, or via the website, or whatever. If you want, I can give you my email directly, whatever you want. So the technical support that we are doing, it's doing mostly by me, like the front end, and then all the back office give me the support. You don't need to deal with the back office. Okay, it's not HP or Cisco, whatever that you have. Take one, take three, whatever. It's very simple process.
Thank you very much for that, Ofer. Next question here for you. Regarding the warranty, I understand there's a 3-year warranty, which is great. So obviously, whatever happens, any damage, of course, with the weather, everything is covered up until 3 years. That is correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I think maybe you are one of the only companies that give
in general,
a 3-year warranty.
Yeah. Look, in general, most of the company gave you 1 year if they gave you 1 year. Okay, there's example like a very successful company, Ubiquity. Try to get from them 1 year warranty for the product, okay? But the bottom line that we don't work on temporary solution. Okay, we work for the long term. There is antenna that outside even 10 years. Okay, so what's happened that the warranty, okay, for each antenna, in order to control the process, in each antenna you have a serial number. Okay, on top of it the date of manufacture. So what's happened that there is according to, by the way, the ISO and documentation, we must record each antenna testing in our lab for at least, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 years. So each antenna that tested VSWR, whatever, there is a serial number, okay? And serial number, we know exactly when the antenna manufacture, where, and blah, blah, blah. So we have a tracking for each antenna that we know, in general, if you came to us, you said, okay, I have antenna, this is the part number, and this is the serial number. And this is the idea of this antenna, okay? It's one by one. We know exactly when the antenna is manufactured and where.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Ofer. Next question here for you. Does MTI Wireless Edge provide mounting kits and enclosures for every antenna that you sell?
Good question. I didn't go deeply about this. We have a 3 version of the enclosure. Okay, we have the 1 foot, which is very small. Okay, and what's happened that you have a limited size. 1.5 foot of the antenna size can go. The larger 1 foot can go up to 2 foot. Okay, we have an option. When we do a bigger antenna, when we are doing this, by the way, with many customers, what happened that instead of putting the mounting kit on the enclosure, it's very heavy, by the way, very mature, we sell, just to try to imagine, 65,000 brackets over the year we sell from the same bracket, okay? It's very mature, it's very strong on wind load and heavy and everything. But if it's too much heavy, we know how to do the calculation. We have instead of putting the bracket in the enclosure in order to handle the enclosure and the antenna, we can put the bracket directly on the antenna, okay? And we have a much stronger bracket than the one that we have the bracket. So we know to do the calculation. The bottom line, you can have antenna from 1 foot up to 2 foot, and we have enclosure for sector antenna as well, a big antenna which can be also integrated. We call it integrated. So we have all the portfolio, okay? It's up to you what you want to use. For the small integrator, we can use 1 foot antenna up to 2 foot antenna, okay? In any frequency that you need. In bottom line, this is the general rule.
Thank you very much for that, Ofer. Last question here for you. While a person or someone is selecting the proper antenna for each installation, is the matching radio also important for minimal RF interference?
It's in general, from the RF perspective, there is no meaning. Okay, it means that if I take any radio which is 2 by 2, okay, I can adjust any of our antenna that of course it's 2 by 2, the right polarization, the right frequency. So in general it's work like this, okay, but there is always issue like how we install the radio. Sometimes the radio came on top of the antenna. Sometimes the radio came, like for example, can be on the EPMP, come with SMA, so they need a specific connector. So in general, there is no difference, okay? And we are doing this, by the way. Sometimes the company has one vendor and we offer our antenna and they switch to our radio. We do a little bit adjustment. So from the RF perspective, there is no meaning. Sometimes there is there's meaning of the integration, mechanical integration, I said, between the radio and the antenna.
Ofer, thank you so much for answering all those questions for us today, and thank you to everyone attending. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown here today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And please remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so you can view it again. Ofer, appreciate your time, appreciate all that information you shared with us today. Everybody, have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining.